Playing mobile games and not getting rewarded for it is a thing of the past. Why haven't you switched yet? If you're going to spend the time playing, you should be earning rewards doing it. With Missed Play, you play what you love and earn points for gift cards and more. Plus, you can enter the Missed Play sweepstakes for your chance to win tens of thousands of dollars in cash, bundles, and gift cards every week. So yeah, keep playing games. Just maybe get rewarded for it. Download Missed Play today and enter for your chance to win.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Streamed and Screened, an entertainment podcast about movies and TV from Lee Enterprises. I'm Terry Lipshetz, managing editor of the National Newsroom at Lee, and co-host of the program of Bruce Miller, a longtime entertainment reporter, and you're keeping busy. There is a lot going on right now. Not all the big stuff. I mean, some of the biggest movies of the summer aren't quite here yet. There's a few big TV series that are going to drop very, very soon. But there's still a lot of stuff going on, kind of holding down things until we get there.
There's a little here, a little there, a little something everywhere. Yeah. And you wonder, where do I go? You ever have that scattered feeling where you go, oh, God, could I go here?
Yep.
Squirrel. And then you don't know where to look. So there you are. That's me right now. But interestingly, I got a chance to, can I throw this out? I got a chance to see The Bear, the last season of The Bear, except for the final episode. And I was very impressed. I have to talk in generalities because I can't be doing any spoilers. But it is like it's the next day. But the interesting thing about this season is that all of the episodes take place within like 24 hours. So it isn't several months out. You're not going to get a Christmas episode, for example. But fascinating. And I was just as taken with it. When I got them, I started binging, and I if I had the last one, I'd be done already. That's how excited I am for it. So it is good. Be looking for it. But you said there was one that I have not heard about, and I feel like an idiot.
You shouldn't, because this was a surprise, and it's actually been out for a little bit more than a month. So on May 5th, Hulu dropped a bonus episode of The Bear. It's called Gary, okay? And it's it is a flashback episode that it's just a handful of characters. So you've got Eben Moss Backrack. His character from the show is going on his character's Richie, of course. He goes on a road trip with Mikey. Now, if you've seen The Bear, anyone who knows The Bear well, Mikey isn't around anymore, right? He took his life, which is kind of the setting of how, the first season of The Bear kind of came to existence. But this episode is a flashback. So Richie's still married to his ex-wife at the time. And they basically, the two of them, go on this adventure from Chicago. They have to run an errand and go to Gary. Yeah, it's road tripping to Gary, Indiana.
Maybe this is the way they can keep the concept going without the stars from The Bear.
Right. So I don't know if there's a plan here to do this again, or if this was a special treat. Right. It's just like a treat to us to kind of get us ready for the final season of The Bear, or maybe they have a spin-off series kind of in the works, like, which wouldn't be out of the question, because it would kind of get Jeremy Allen White off the hook, because he's so big now. You could see him wanting to move on and be done with it. But some of the other actors who have, lesser roles and maybe want to keep things going, it would certainly be an opportunity for them to continue just in the past.
You get to see the old beef restaurant.
So I'm like most of the way through it, but I didn't finish it. But at the beginning of it, there is no beef restaurant. So they didn't bring us there. It was basically picking up Richie, and Mikey picks up Richie. They hop in a car, and then they go on the road to Gary.
This is almost like Atlanta, where they kind of just went all over the place, and then didn't know what the episode was, and maybe none of the people who were on the show actually figure into the episode.
Yeah. So it's wild, but I'm excited. So
today I'll see that.
Gotta get ready.
I'll be there. I'll be there. Well, that's one that's coming up. Gail Daughtry and the Celebrity Sex Pass is coming out very shortly, and it's a cute little film that is right now at the Tribeca Film Festival, and it's getting a lot of attention. Zoe Deutsch plays this naive, to use kind of a lame term, bride-to-be who decides with her fiance that they were going to have a celebrity sex pass. Well, she says hers is John Hamm, and then he just happens to see Jennifer Aniston, and he says, I'll pick Jennifer Aniston. But Jennifer Aniston goes ahead and gives him the pass. So Zoe Deutsch's character, Gail, has to then go to California to try and find John Hamm. So it's a search for John Hamm. And if you look at it in a broader view, this is just like Wizard of Oz. But she does get to find John Hamm. I will spoil that much. But just darling. Well, so of course the question I had for them was, have you ever been approached by somebody who says, you're my celebrity sex pass? And Zoe said, yes, but it wasn't for me. It was for my mother. Her mother is Leah, who was in Back to the Future. And she said,
right.
Could you imagine saying that to somebody about their mom? She said, it just threw me so far. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. So, but she hasn't had it for herself. She's had it about mom. So, you don't have that, do you? You don't have an arrangement with your wife?
No, I don't.
Well, she doesn't say, if John Hamm shows up at my house, all bets are off.
No, but it is funny. Like I've had this conversation with my wife and some friends of mine. My celebrity crush, who I've had a celebrity crush on probably going on 30 years now, is Ashley Judd. So
available.
She's available. But the funny thing with her is she's really not that much older than me. I'm 50, she's 58. So like when I was a teenager, like I'm trying to think what year like Heat came out. Heat came out in the early 90s, right? And she was in that, and she's in a bunch of other films, of course. But to me, she's aged perfectly along with me, right? So, when I was a teenager and she was in her early 20s, I thought she was amazing. And then when I'm in my 20s and she's in her 30s, I thought she's amazing. And now that I'm, in my 40s and now into my 50s, and she was in her 40s and into her 50s, I think she still looks great, So
it's had some little filler done too.
Well, right. Well, we won't speak of that. And she clearly has not had any work.
No, she's perfect. Perfection doesn't need help, right?
Right. So, so that, I guess that would be my celebrity sex crush if there is one. Okay. But, Ashley, if you're listening.
Yeah, I've always been on the Michelle Pfeiffer train, but I have a feeling at this age, we would just talk about, did you get your Social Security check this week? Or are we going to Target later? I mean, that's what I think it's come down to. So,
like, you're both looking for tennis balls for your walkers,
that's right. Can I have some? Hey, don't get rid of those tennis balls. I need them. But it's a cute movie. It's done by the people who did American Hot Summer. And it has a lot of those faces that you recognize. Is it Ken Marino? He's a producer in this and a character in it. He plays paparazzi. And they lampoon the business of show in a very neat, kind of nifty way, and yet it kind of falls into our opinions of what Hollywood is all about. And they shot it all there. They have landmarks that you'll recognize, and I enjoyed it, so that's good. Then I got a copy of a book, The Art of Toy Story 5. And it doesn't tell you what because this is coming out very shortly. And what do we know about Toy Story 5? Taylor Swift did a song for it. That's about as much as we know. And that there is a kind of an iPad of sorts, or a device that seems to be threatening these toys, that it's taking the
Okay.
attention away from everybody else. That's as much as I know from what I've heard. And they're just as bad as all those Marvel and Star Wars films where they try to keep everything from you. But in this book, they have different characters that they show you that are interesting, could be a new direction for some of this. And there's an absence of one character that I was really surprised at. I won't tell you the character. I don't want to be that person, but I'm going to be talking to the people from Toy Story next week. And I'm hoping
Okay.
that they will say something about this because I
Okay.
haven't seen it yet. I'm worried, but we'll see what happens. Maybe it is the final one for the Toy Story series.
We keep saying that, but it keeps coming back. So,
but I'm all right with it.
Yeah.
Because the stuff that they're throwing out there instead, is it any better? No.
It to me it remains like the gold.
Yeah.
The gold bar of all of Pixar. I mean, they could keep running those movies out forever. It's sort of like with, Toy Story for Disney. It's probably in the same ranking, like when you look at the Minions and Despicable Me on that other side of, what is that, a DreamWorks one? It's like there's a handful of ones where you could just kind of keep rolling out the movies year after year after year.
It was like
and they're good.
Back in the day where we would always have Bugs Bunny. We would always have all those kind of Looney Tune people. Mickey Mouse would do his thing. You had the Pink Panther in the 60s. So there were ones that kind of made an appearance and were always reliable, for lack of a better term. So we'll see what happens with all of that. But my fingers are crossed. I hope things go well. Then I also saw the first episode of a prequel to Legally Blonde called Elle, E-L-L-E. And it's about her high school years. Now, I'm wondering how well they'll do. Like I say, I've only seen one in matching it up with the movie. Because if she's having these kind of awakenings about, I can't be just a girl in pink who's stupid and does whatever in high school, then does that mean when she gets to college, there is no awakening? I don't know, but we'll see what happens. It's produced by Reese Witherspoon, so she has a hand in it. And it follows Elle as she goes from school in California to school in Seattle. It's set in the 90s, so there's probably some grunge aspect to it. And there are character types who show up in the course of all of this. But I watched one. I would watch another. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
Then we've got, Mikey Madison. Do you remember her?
Yes.
How do you remember her?
She was in what movie was she in? Nora?
Right. And she won.
Yes. A Best Actress.
And you say, where is she now? Did she?
Yes, where is she now?
Well, I'm constantly where I should be like the career counselor for actors, because they always say, you haven't gotten work. You need to get work. Let's get to work. I'm worse than a parent. And she did get a part. It's the lead in The Social Reckoning, which is a sequel to The Social Network. And there we find, where is Jeremy Allen White? He's in The Social Reckoning. So we pull this all together. They're there. That'll be coming up. And that's where we see him headed. It's written and directed by Aaron Sorkin, who was part of the first one. So I have a feeling it could be pretty good.
Yeah.
So we'll see what's happening. I've been reading too. Can you believe that? Reading. And I see a book. It's by the author who wrote The Help.
Okay.
Her new book is so good. I think it has to be a limited series. I think it's called The Calamity Club, something like that.
Okay.
And lots of very colorful characters. It's pretty solid. So I think that's on track. And then, you know what it is? It's the anniversary of Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Like what, the 10th anniversary?
How old are you? Gary, come on.
What was it, like the 40th?
It's got to be up there because I remember seeing that when I was young, and
yeah,
I ain't young no more. Let's see. I'm looking at
1986 is the release year, so we're getting.
So where were you in 86?
Well, my aunt took me to see Ferris Bueller's. She had seen it with, I think, her boyfriend at the time and loved it and was like, we got to go see
Harry
it.
will like this.
Yes. So yeah, funniest movie. Probably one of my favorite movies of all time. And it's one where I basically could star in Ferris Bueller's Day Off right now because I know all the lines. It's one of those where I could just, Ferris, Bueller.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm assuming that they will do some, you'll see one of those special showings at theaters for Ferris Bueller's Day Off, so you get a chance to revive that. I don't know that they could ever, if they could do a sequel, I don't know that they could. Ferris Bueller's Kids Day Off or something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't think that the stars could come back and, what is the day off? It's just called it's a day off from work. Is what it would be.
Right. It would be kind of funny if they could come up with a good movie where Ferris is a parent and is obviously, his kids are running circles around him. But at this point too, Matthew Broderick is in his 60s now, right? So it's a tough sell for me for him to be a parent of teenagers. Not that you can't, like a lot of people have kids later in life these days, so it's not uncommon. Of course, I know people in their 60s,
the grandkids,
right? But it is. I think they would be pushing the limits on that one.
Yeah, you'd have to. Well, and John Hughes isn't around to write it, and you kind of need that, I think, because I don't see that.
Yeah, you would have to
anywhere.
Right, you would need to find somebody who could channel the inner John Hughes, and take that from him. And there's certainly directors that probably could. Chris Columbus was a mentee of,
and he doesn't work that much, does he?
Right. No, he doesn't. So I mean, that's somebody that, like, top of my head, I think could handle the challenge. But yeah, sometimes we don't need to bring things back.
Well,
either.
And what's really kind of ruined things is YouTube. YouTube is out there doing those kind of concepts that might have worked into a film if they had the support. But now people just go and do it on their own and see what happens. I have been watching a lot of influencers, and I don't know why. I don't know what it is that fascinates me about it. First thing I always say is, you're 18 and you have your own apartment. How did you get them to rent an apartment to you? Because don't you have to be older to get an apartment? Doesn't somebody have to sign for that if you're 18 or under? And then they're always doing things like fit check what I'm wearing today. And it's probably free stuff that they were given by some company. Then they always are working out. They're always getting in a car to go somewhere. They're buying coffee. I've never seen people buy so much coffee. These are the things that they're doing as content. And you go, wow, is this what we're down to? We have to watch somebody else just get up in the morning and then have a day? I don't know. But I think they could better channel that energy into writing something original. I would love to do, if I'm going to do it, I would love to do an old person, i.e. me, pretend to be an influencer. Well, I'm going to get my sweatpants on today, and I'm going to plunk in the chair and maybe fall asleep at a little bit, and then I'll watch TV for a little bit more. And then I got to rustle up something to eat, but instead I'll just call DoorDash, have them come and bring something over to me. I mean, it's like, that's how lame it would be.
Right.
But so anyway, we need to see a new voice that's coming out there that has another idea like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, because it's ripe for the picking. What have you been watching?
Not a whole lot of anything. I've been bouncing all over. Star City. I started jumping into that. We for a little fun busted out the original Men in Black film with the kids the other day. They were, I think reviews on that from them were kind of mixed. They did get
You
into it
notice how
after a
short
while.
it is? That's the thing that bothers
Yeah.
me is, well, wait a minute, there should be another half hour to this.
It's like 90
Yeah.
minutes, and yeah, it's a tight film. But yeah, we're looking forward to I think getting out to Disclosure Day. We were talking about that. That's our opportunities to get to that are a little bit off just because of our busy summer schedule with kids playing basketball and volleyball and softball and me officiating. So haven't had a whole lot of chance to see some of these things. And there's one film that's intriguing me, and I don't know if I can plunk down money to go see it, but I kind of want to see it. It's Jackass Best and Last.
Oh, you must.
Like there's just a piece of me that yearns for the nostalgia.
You know what I've looked at in the previews for that is they show a lot of clips from the old ones. So I wonder if maybe it isn't even all done.
I had to look it up a little bit just to see, is everybody going to be in it? And no, Bam Margera is not in it because he was removed from the previous movie. But I kind of want to see it.
Well, they were trying to create another generation, and you saw some of those newer people in the last one. And I wonder if they figured, this isn't worth it, or we've got to show up for one big stunt. And do we want to do that?
Right.
And maybe the concept is done. Maybe they don't have an audience for it anymore. I went to Scary Movie, and I was shocked at how I did not remember the premise of the first one.
Oh, okay.
Because it's very much like a skit. It's like a Saturday Night Live skit or an in-color skit, but it hits so fast that you don't have time to wait a minute. Now, what was the original one that they're spoofing here? Okay, and how did that go? And by the time you figure it out, it's gone.
Yeah.
So I think that that callback is not necessarily a good thing for anybody.
Yeah. Did you see? They just released kind of, I don't know if it's not really a trailer, but a message about the upcoming Spaceballs movie. Because they were originally, like, if you go back to the original film that came out, 40 years ago, right? And during it, when Yogurt was showing the merchandise and all that, and this will be in the next one, Spaceballs 2, The Quest for More Money, right? So they just did a video with Mel Brooks, and they kind of, because that's kind of what they were going to call this one, Spaceballs 2, as a play off of that. And they said they found the money, so they had to change the title. So now it's called Spaceballs, the new one. But that's coming out in 2027. And I'm just like hoping, can Mel Brooks make it that long? Because he's about to turn 100, but he looks like he's in great health for his age.
Well, and the History of the World part, whatever it was that they did recently, he was kind of an advisor who would say, no, you're off the track. So he didn't have to really write stuff. And I think that's probably what his role here is. But Rick Moranis is back, so that's good.
Right. But Mel Brooks is in the movie because he is Yogurt and he is President Scroob. So he is reprising those roles. Now, is it going to be some AI type of stuff where he's doing voiceovers and they're doing things like that? Or is he walking around on set? I don't know what his health is like and how mobile he is. But
he seems good.
Yeah. It's, Dick Van Dyke is going strong too. He looks great also, considering, he's on.
Squibb was just nominated for a Tony Award. If she's able to do 8 shows a week on Broadway, some of those old people better get to work.
Exactly.
We need more of them.
All right. Yes. Yeah. So a lot going on.
This is kind of the we've got to watch it first period of time, but I think there's a lot. And what I notice is this used to be the big time for new fall TV shows on networks. They're not digging in at all. Maybe I've counted a handful of new shows that are going to be on broadcast TV, but it's all of these other kind of stray channels or streaming services that are coming up with the new stuff, and they don't have a schedule in terms of when they're going to drop it. It could be tomorrow. It could be like that Gary, Indiana episode that I missed.
Right.
You know, if that's how they're going to do it, boy, I need a little heads up.
Well, on that note, thank you for listening, and we'll be back again next week with another episode of Streamed and Screened.